afternoon, and thanks for joining us. This weekend will mark 150 years since the signing of Treaty 6, and one group is commemorating the milestone in a big way. On Monday, a convoy of lance runners and horseback riders of all ages departed from James Smith Cree Nation for a 4-day trek across central Saskatchewan all the way to Fort Carlton. Participants from neighboring First Nation communities joined along the way. The group will end up at Fort Carlton just in time for a commemorative gathering that begins Thursday and continues through the weekend.
Back when our treaties were signed, they had to travel to get to Fort Carlton, and that didn't happen in one day. A trail that we took here is the original trail that our ancestors traveled to Fort Carlton to go sign treaties.
The purpose of the ride is to promote healing, peace, cultural resilience, and to honor historical events. It's open to anyone who wants to join. Eagle feathers will now be available for people taking the stand in Saskatchewan Provincial Court as a means of swearing or affirming to tell the truth. One eagle feather will be kept at each of the court's 13 permanent locations for use during proceedings. It's the result of a gift from the sister of a provincial court judge made in memory of their father. Access to an eagle feather, either in a permanent courtroom or circuit points, should be arranged in advance through the local court office. People can also bring in their own eagle feather to court for the same purpose. Other options for swearing in or affirming to the court are religious symbols or holy books like the Bible, Quran, or Torah, or a non-religious solemn affirmation. All right, Jeff, do you affirm that this good weather is going to continue and we'll get a few more days of sun?
I so swear. There we go. We've got ourselves some pretty nice conditions as we make our way into the latter part of the week and into the weekend. Things are looking pretty decent. We'll talk about that in a little bit later on. Keeping our eye on, there's a bit of a trough line, and you can sort of see this where these clouds are on the satellite dish that's on the top of my house, getting the TV. There you go, the satellite imagery as it marches across Saskatchewan from a west to east fashion. So we do anticipate some shower activity along that trough line, but other than that, things are pretty fair. Our conditions are pretty fair and really fairly settled. So everything's looking pretty good right now, and we'll talk about the numbers later on.
The lawyer representing a man who egged a Saskatoon synagogue says the incident was not fueled by anti-Semitism. On August 4th, eggs were thrown at the Congregation Agudas Israel Synagogue during the congregation's Shabbat service. About a week later, 31-year-old Jaden Clark turned himself in to police. He's facing 3 charges of mischief. In a statement, Clark's lawyer says his client accepts responsibility, but makes it clear that it was not a hate crime. He describes it as an alcohol-induced foolish act and that the synagogue was a matter of unfortunate timing, not a target. Jewish advocacy group B'nai B'rith says intoxication doesn't rule out a hateful motivation.
Regardless of inebriation, this was a decision. Mr. Clark chose to attend to the synagogue. He had enough faculties about him to specifically attend to that synagogue and to carry out the vandalism. So I do believe that this needs to be investigated as a hate crime, and I'll leave it up to the authorities to decide whether or not that threshold is met.
Police say they can't comment as the matter is now before the courts. Any evidence that an offense was motivated by prejudice, bias, or hate is considered during sentencing. The defense says Clark is working with the Jewish community to make amends. His first court appearance is scheduled for September 16th. Australian beef is showing up as the cheaper option for some cuts on Canadian grocery store shelves. You may start to notice more Australian beef products at the meat counter, but Tyler Fulton, president of the Canadian Cattle Association, says there are differences between Australian and Canadian produced beef. Fulton says Australian cattle are mostly raised on grass with some grain feeding at the end, which he says results in leaner beef that is less preferred by Canadian consumers. He says imported beef can help fill short-term gaps in supply, but he doesn't see it as a major concern for Canadian producers, with the country's cattle herd now starting to rebuild.
We're on a great trajectory to build the herd. But it takes time. And so I think there's just an appreciation that there's a short-term need, and Australia fills that.
Fulton adds having imported beef available is better than leaving shoppers without beef options. After 2 RCMP officers were injured in a shooting in Melville, the community rushed in to show their support. And that includes a 10-year-old who's been lending her artistic skills to raise funds for the families of the injured officers. Virginia Decloute has more.
Almost 2 months since 2 RCMP officers were injured in a shooting in Melville, community efforts to help haven't slowed down. One of the people lending a hand is 10-year-old Hadley Polk.
I'm selling bracelets. All the money that I'll make is going towards the injured officers.
She comes from a family of RCMP officers and is close with the Mounties who were shot, so she didn't hesitate when it came to support.
She actually spent time in Regina with the officers, and she sat with one of them from the day after it happened until he initially got to come home. So she got right to work when she got home.
Hadley's bracelets debuted at the fundraiser organized by Melville firefighters in July.
She raised over $4,000 at the initial fundraiser, so then she came home and made about 200, 300 more bracelets, and she just kept going.
Her venture is proving widely popular, with both Melville residents and visitors stopping by her booth to donate.
I was expecting like a couple hundred, but then, well, now I'm just kind of at 8,000.
And then I see Hadley and their family doing all this. I'm like, I need to donate. He's a great part of the community, and I think it's really important to me that we're raising this money for him and Dave.
As the community rallies behind the 2 officers, Hadley knows that she's helping make a difference. She says from the hundreds of bracelets Hadley's made, some have made their way back to one of the officers they are meant to support.
I think one of them is very proud of me. He even wears some of my bracelets around, and he doesn't take it off now.
One day, her mother says, Hadley may follow in her family's footsteps and join the RCMP herself. And for now, she continues to serve her community through art. Virginia Decloute, CTV News, Melville.
A farm east of Saskatoon is offering yoga classes with bunnies. 2 classes per week are offered at the Wander's Tiny Farm. For many that were in attendance, it was their first ever bunny yoga experience. And while the bunnies may hop in and cuddle or distract participants, the instructor says it's all part of the experience. She says bunny gazing is actually one of the segments of the class because the bunnies create a unique type of zen.
It is this extra layer. Like, a lot of people aren't coming to bunny yoga to get the whole Zen yoga experience, but it is getting them in their body and it is bringing joy into their life. So, I mean, like, that's a whole lot of extra.
The class draws people from all over the province and runs until the early fall. When we return, summer programs winding down at the Prince Albert Early Years Family Resource Centre. Jasmine Pelche finds out about the Little Learners Literacy Camp.
I am at the Early Years Family Resource Center with facilitator Simran to talk about some of their summer programs just as the summer programming wraps up. So I understand tomorrow is the last day for a literacy day that you guys have going on. Could you give some more information on what that day is for?
So we decided to do our summer program this year. It was Little Learners Literacy Camp. This program was for age 0 to 5 for kids to engage in story time, crafts, some other activities, games, and just participate with their caregivers. And this program was running from 11 to 1 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday every week. Now we have just one left, that is tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last day for literacy camp, and we have good registration. We have good number of families coming in. So yeah, we'll be winding it up tomorrow, and the program was a big hit and successful.
When you say the program was a big hit and a big success, are you talking kind of in terms of numbers, how many people were registering to come out for the program, or just, the overall impression people were getting when they were here?
I guess it was both. We got a good number of families who participate in the program, but also the feedback we got from the families. We had a feedback how it helped families to come out and do something fun in summers with their kids, and also it helped some families with their kids' speech and language. And then other than that, socializing for kids, kids who don't go to daycare, it was such a good way to come out with their caregivers and take part in such activities with other kids. Yeah.
And for that age group, like kids under 5, why is socializing with their peers like so important?
I think it builds confidence in them when they go to schools and daycares or in any other anything else in their life. It helps them to know how to communicate or put out their ideas in front of others. So I feel like socializing is a very important skill that kids should learn. Yeah.
Do you have any similar programs for literacy coming up in the fall?
We do have story times that go in the fall, and we're still planning our fall and winter activities on our calendar. But yes, we'll for sure have something related to, not the exact program, but something related to literacy, like story time or other activities for kids. Yeah, for sure. At least once in a week, there will be a program. But yes, if we can offer twice as per parents' request, we'll try our best to get whatsoever the families are expecting from us. We'll try our best to get it.
Have families been requesting more literacy activities?
Yes, we got a lot of requests to continue doing the program. So yes, that's why we're thinking to how we can promote literacy-based activities more in fall and winters. Yeah.
If someone is looking to find out more information about your programming here, where can they go?
So we are on Facebook. They can always check out our website, pafrc.ca. And we also have a phone number online. They can phone us, contact us through our email address, which is on our calendar as well. So the calendar that we provide has a lot of information, including our website, phone number, email, so they can always reach out to us through that.
Is the calendar available on your website?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, thank you for all that information. I'm glad that your summer programming went well with the people who were using it. Thanks for speaking with me today.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll break down the weather with Jeff after the break, and a new project at Canada's largest children's hospital giving kids a green thumb. All right, Jeff, maybe we might have jinxed it a little bit, so I'll knock on wood, but we won't say it was a quiet and maybe an uneventful week in terms of temperatures and weather events. But what do we have coming up?
We do have some more fair weather, and by fair we mean less in the way of precipitation. It looks like we've got some steady as she goes temperatures that are on the rise, John. And so for people who are hoping for some warmer conditions as we head into the weekend and maybe make the most of the Lakeland region, well, that's certainly true for this week and as we head into this week. Keeping our eye on this trough line here that's sort of sliding across, and as it does, we are going to let you know that's a possibility of some showers, but we don't expect a lot more than just a few showers from that, isolated in nature. So that's how that is shaping up on the satellite and radar shot here. I'm going to just step out of the way and take a look at our futurecast. So you can certainly see a lot of that precipitation moving into Manitoba, and then in behind it, yes, there's still a little bit of lingering isolated shower activity, but as you can see, not a huge organized area of active weather. All right, here we go with tonight's overnight temperatures. We've got ourselves 11 degrees for Spiritwood, mainly clear, or clear skies, I should say, in the Battlefords. Many places dealing with clearing skies. That's not true of Birch Hills and Rossiter, and expecting some cloudy conditions there, 11 degrees. 11 as well in Nipawin, clearing skies, and then Melfort, 10 degrees. So a fairly consistent temperature pattern overnight for the Lakeland region. Making our way into tomorrow, well, temperatures are, for the most part, back to seasonal or slightly warmer, maybe not so much much for Spiritwood, 23 degrees, but 25 for the Battlefords, 24 in Candle Lake and Birch Hills, 25 in Rostern, and those communities all dealing with mainly cloudy skies. Mainly sunny skies for Nipawin and 25 degrees, and Melfort mainly cloudy and 24. So again, a fairly consistent temperature pattern in and around that 24-degree mark, which is pretty much seasonal for this time of year. 11 degrees overnight for the Prince Albert region, a slight chance of showers, winds out of the west at 15, so a light wind, 11 degrees. And then as we make our way into Thursday, mainly cloudy skies, 25 degrees, a northwesterly wind at 20 kilometers an hour, and the 7-day outlook for Prince Albert and area, 24 degrees with mainly sunny skies on Friday. Saturday, mainly cloudy and 27, the same on Sunday. Monday, a 60% chance of showers, but a risk of a thunderstorm is thrown into the mix there. 21 degrees, not a surprise with that rain. And then temperatures a little on the cool side, but they will be warming up again. We've got ourselves 23 on Tuesday, and Wednesday mainly sunny and 24.
And I'm looking at that. I thought at one point there were 2 days that were indicating, Jeff, we might get some rain or some thunderstorms. So that's
there
already
was,
looking...
but that was down the line, and so that's why things can change.
Yeah, I like how they put those together and just put it on Monday there. So get it out of the way quick.
Absolutely.
All right, Jeff, it's time for another edition of Matt Young's Classic Sports.
The 1993 Saskatchewan Roughriders season started off well as the Riders were 4-3 coming into this game against Ottawa. The game was never televised, so most have not actually seen the footage. Anyways, this one was a seesaw battle that saw the likes of Ray Elgard and Sean Daniels scoring touchdowns. In the second half, the Roughriders capitalized on a special teams blunder. After punting the ball away and having plenty of room, the Ottawa receiver can't handle it, and it eventually finds its way into the hands of Carlton Lance, who runs it in for a touchdown. Tack on another late field goal by Dave Ridgway, and Saskatchewan came away with a win, 27-26.
And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Kids living with disabilities might not often get a chance to be farmers, but as Pauline Chan tells us, a new project at Canada's largest children's rehabilitation hospital is giving kids a chance to get a green thumb.
And you can kind of see that they have like the vines are actually growing around these supports.
Afia Bassar proudly shows the cherry tomatoes now growing at Holland Bloorview.
I don't take care of the garden like watering and stuff, but I did actually plant the tomatoes here behind me.
Bowery Project is a Toronto-based nonprofit that transforms vacant spaces into productive mobile farms using repurposed milk crates.
Last May, Bowery Project brought 128 crates along with soil and other garden materials to start a rooftop garden.
Our crates are different heights and they are movable, which creates the perfect opportunity for individuals with disabilities to participate and contribute and learn to grow food.
We just thought it was a great way to, develop youth leadership skills while creating a beautiful garden that would benefit the broader Holland Bloorview community.
The garden project is focused around the question, can small actions make an impact? And that is what our youth leaders at Holland Bloorview have been exploring.
It's a special project for members of the Youth Advisory Council, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary.
We, at one point, were helping with changes with nursing schedules and food changes. And then sometimes we also talk about beautifying the hospital.
Karen who came to Holland Bloorview after a traumatic brain injury, says potatoes are her favorite in the garden.
The reason the potatoes were my favorite was the stems were really heavy, so they created like a really odd side part, and I thought that was my favorite joke. And I also just really like potatoes for the food they are.
To date, we have harvested almost 20 pounds of food which is pretty remarkable considering a lot of the stuff we're growing as greens, which don't weigh a lot. But we've harvested everything from potatoes to eggplant to kale, herbs.
And as much as Afia says she has gained from the experience,
it really touches you because you know that you're making an impact for other clients here at the hospital.
The final harvest will be in October, and they hope that the crate garden will spring back to life again in May. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
The First Nations Health Ombudsperson has some recommendations at the halfway mark of an independent review of hospital safety and security. In May, the province announced a third party would conduct a review into security and safety of hospitals across Saskatchewan after a number of concerns about violence and weapons in healthcare facilities. Diane Lafond, the First Nations Health Ombudsperson, recently met with former Saskatoon Police Chief Clive Whale, who is leading the review. Lafond presented 3 recommendations for him to consider, including bringing more Indigenous voices to the table, strengthening security accountability, and reviewing security intervention. The review is expected to be complete by the end of November. All right, Jeff, we're going to hearken back to not too long ago, but mid-June, mid-July, where pieces of FIFA World Cup history are now going up for auction. You might remember the hand-painted beaver statues representing different countries that competed in the tournament. Well, they're now on sale. The proceeds will be split between Toronto's First Post Office and Kidsport Ontario. And Jeff, I'm a Calgary kid, so I don't know if you remember the project in Calgary, Utterly Art, in 2000. Do you remember this one? Everybody had the giant cows, and they would paint them up, and then they would have them all over the city. And I think, and here in Saskatoon, I believe we had pigs in the city. Okay. And so there was pigs. There was one that I really liked in Saskatoon. It was a Hitchcock pig, and it was dark, and it had a suit on like Alfred Hitchcock, but there's crows on top of it, like the movie The Birds. So, okay, all right. Yeah. Well, then this is not a new thing, and I just thought as soon as I saw it on TV, Jeff, I thought, oh, this reminds me of the Utterly Art, and actually a Saskatchewan connection. Bill Brownridge, his hockey cow, brought in $51,000. Obviously, he did the Flames jerseys and stuff like that. So he's a legend, and actually, I think a Rosetown guy. Okay, cool. That's from good Vaughan. To know. I might be wrong on that, but in any event, as soon as I saw that, I thought that's what it's all about. That's public art in the right way. Well, don't get us into that argument, my friend. Okay. Well, so and it's it's a good way to raise some funds. Good way to absolutely is. Good way to raise some funds and have some fun. There you go. How about that? How about that?